I might have discovered who the prototype is, but even worse, I think I might know what the prototype does to other dead toys. And trust me, it might be darker than you think. Codenamed Experiment 1006, the prototype is still a huge mystery behind each chapter. In one moment, he's treated like an urban legend hiding in the shadows, and in the next, he's dragging away the body of a freshly killed toy. So far, we've only got a glimpse of his hand, and he looks pretty feeble and delicate. It's highly unlikely that he would have the necessary strength to defeat the same toys as the player. If you recall, the prototype has always been about being smart. He was the only toy to almost successfully escape the factory not once but twice. The first time was when he made a laser out of an alarm clock in his room, and the next time was when he almost left with catnap. By now, it would be clear to him that it wasn't intelligence he was lacking, but strength. The main character walking into Playtime Co offered the perfect opportunity to take the bodies of stronger toys. So while we would do the dirty work, the prototype would be ready, pulling the strings to make himself stronger. But why does the prototype need to become stronger? Remember the hour of joy? Yeah, the prototype planned that whole thing because he couldn't stand the trials the workers were putting the kids through. He wanted to free him from all that nastiness. But even after the hour of joy, the experiments and children were still stuck inside the factory. Maybe in the prototype's own twisted view, killing the toys would now be the only way to free them. Toys like Huggy Wuggy and Mommy Longlegs would be too great of a threat for him to handle on his own. So when the player takes Mommy Longlegs down, he carefully drags her away while not engaging with us. We could also assume he took Huggy Wuggy away too, since he took a considerable amount of damage falling in Chapter 1. If you look closely, we can see the prototype's plan to collect dead toys is actually making him stronger. In Chapter 3, when Catnap is on his last legs, we see the prototype do something he's never done before. It's no question that Catnap is one of the strongest toys at Playtime, so when the prototype kills him in one blow, it shows the audience that he's now willing to take action. It's been rumored by some players that the prototype will now be able to use the abilities of all the dead toys he's taken. The shrine we see in Chapter 3 is a good indicator of what the prototype will most likely look like. Catnap being one of his most devout followers makes the authenticity of the shrine that much more probable. The only other toy to really hint at the prototype's appearance was Mommy Longlegs, where she herself was aware of him merging with the dead toys. While the shrine only shows his physical appearance, it also hints at his potential abilities. Catnap's Poppy gas has always been a big staple of his character, from appearing in the Smiling Critters cartoon as a form of sleep aid to being used as nightmare fuel against the player. If the prototype was able to successfully merge with Catnap, does that mean he'll be able to use his gas too? The prototype is already one of the smartest things at Playtime Co, and if he could now release Poppy gas, well, it's game over for the player. We could even see a boss fight with the prototype in which he utilizes each of the toys' unique gimmicks. His body might even be able to detach them, which would mean we'd get to fight our favorite bosses one more time. There's also a chance that the reason why the prototype needs to merge with the toys is because of the player. While the player is an unknown character to us, that doesn't mean the prototype doesn't know who we are. He's seen us take down the strongest toy Playtime has to offer, and we did it all thanks to our trusty grab pack. If the prototype wants to be able to beat us, he's going to need something to counter our tools. The simple solution would be for the prototype to use a grab pack himself, but maybe there's a reason why he hasn't done so yet. It's possible that he is still scarred from the incident that happened with Theodore Grambell during his escape. The prototype had instructed Theo to use a grab pack to open a door, but in a freak accident, shocked himself to the point of near death. The situation was so dire that the prototype had to return to his captors in order to save his friend. The motivation behind the prototype's actions have been linked back to Harley Sawyer. Harley Sawyer was one of the scientists responsible for experimenting on the prototype before the Hour of Joy. There was a VHS conversation between the two, where we learned that Harley relishes torturing the toys.
There's a secret inside you, 1006. Valuable beyond all measure. I cut and prod and burn at it, and I get closer with each session. So speak, or don't. Fight or give in. Regardless, I learn something new about you every day. It excites me.
In a very rare instance, the prototype decides to ask him a question. Do you feel anything? Harley's reasoning for experimenting in the cruel manner that he does is for the sake of knowledge. This answer seems to resonate with the prototype, and he actually thanks the scientist, who is left in sheer disbelief.
Thank you. You thank me? Absolutely. I learn something new about you every day.
It's highly possible that the scientist's philosophy has rubbed off on the prototype. Just like how the prototype was cut and prodded himself, he is now doing the same thing, except to the other toys. His quest for answers within Playtime Co. has led him down a dark path, perpetuating the only language he knows: pain. It's been occasionally suggested that perhaps the prototype lacks in any clear motives because he just wants to watch the world burn. There's no secret or mystery in this theory. The prototype wants to make everyone else suffer just like he did. We've seen what he did to the scientists and workers at Playtime Co. Seeing Dog Day not succumb to his torturing probably really agitated the prototype. The same probably goes for Poppy, who also openly stood against him and even recruited the player to join the fight. In the prototype's mind, everyone is guilty, toys and staff members alike. This version of the prototype is ruthless and is willing to kill even those loyal to him should they fail. Maybe the reason why the prototype killed Catnap wasn't because Catnap voluntarily gave up his life. Maybe it was because he was no longer of use, and if he couldn't serve the prototype, he didn't deserve life. This also could be supported with the end of Chapter 3. We were spooked by Kissy Missy's screams, making us think she got taken out. If the prototype already merged with Huggy Wuggy, then Kissy Missy would be the next logical step. Now, while the attack happened off screen, that is exactly what we should expect from the prototype, biding his time and attacking when everyone's guard is down to achieve his goal. At the current rate he is going, there's a good chance Poppy might meet a similar fate, and if we're not too careful, us as well. Plus, he could use Kissy Missy's body to beef himself up, just like he's done with the other characters. Or maybe we're just wrong about everything, and the prototype has been the hero of the story the entire time. We've been led to believe that the prototype is the end-all be-all of Playtime Co toys, but what happens if that's not the case? Maybe the prototype is merging with the other toys because there's still a greater threat deep in the factory. There could exist a toy so vile and scary that Playtime Co had no choice but to cast it into the depths. It was only until the player arrived that the prototype felt that he was ready to take action. He might be the only one left who knows of its existence and the threat it poses. A prototype team-up would definitely be something the player wouldn't expect and would serve a great plot twist for his character. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. Is the prototype the villain Poppy makes him out to be, or is he secretly trying to help the main character? If you enjoyed watching this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you always stay tuned with more of such content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.